Welcome back to the Troubleshooting Life Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Peters, my co-host, Craig Poston, where we talk about various topics, sharing our experiences on life and finances.
Oh man, that's always hard for me. So, and I've kind of talked about it before, like for people that are in the same like DISC assessment as I am, where like I'm a high S, is like, it seems like everyone else's time is more important than mine.
Yeah.
Right. Where like, I want to help so many people, I want to help everyone do it. But like when it's coming to like my type of stuff, I'm like, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
So how do you ensure that your future goals align with your passion and values?
And so that one, I definitely had to like define my passion and values first to really figure out like what my goals are. So like, for example, like one of my values is health.
Mm-hmm.
So wanting to be healthy, wanting to work out, wanting to eat right, whatever that is, I had to make sure that, one, do I actually want to be healthy, or was it just like the aesthetics? Like, did I just want to look good? Did I just want to like look like I have muscles? And in reality, I was like, well, yeah, having muscles is great, but I remember when I was younger and I was at a lower body fat, like I wasn't maybe the happiest.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, well, but I still do want the health stuff. Like, it's okay to look awesome, but like, cardiovascular health, being able to, maybe be able to pick up heavy stuff isn't exactly part of the healthy lifestyle. But helping, do muscle growth, whatever it is, at least just being healthy, I did feel like that was part of my values. So I made sure, anything that goes towards health, like that's the value that it goes towards. Another thing, like I keep talking about, is growth. So if anything that I do in my mind, it kind of propels that growth, then it's going to make sense. Like, so like starting a business or, getting real estate or whatever it is. Another value is, growing up middle-class family where we didn't have a lot of money, is wealth, right? So that's another value that I have, where I'm trying to grow a lot of stuff, grow a lot of wealth, so that I never put my family through what that, and it's not like we had a terrible life or anything, but it wasn't in abundance.
Yeah.
So it's not like, we could go to the best schools. It's not like we could go and get the best thing. It's not like we could go to the best places, whatever it is. And, now that I value that stuff, I want to make sure I have enough wealth to do that. So I think just, really defining what your values are. And there's actually a few tests. Like I took one recently where it's like, hey, choose whatever these values are. And then it has you kind of test against like, what are your top 5 values that you want? And mine were like, definitely growth, wealth, health, accountability. That's definitely something I learned. And then there's like another one, I can't remember what it is, but just kind of figuring out who you are, and hopefully that what you're doing aligns with who you are. Because there's a lot of things where we don't know who we are, we don't know what our values are, what our passions are, and then we're doing stuff, and you're wondering why you don't feel the same when you're doing that stuff. Like, say if you're going to go hang out with people, going to go drink, and like you're not like a real drinker, and you're like, why don't I feel good doing this? And it's not like a sickening feeling. It's just like it doesn't fill your passion, it doesn't fill your that level for you. So I'm like, why do I feel this way? So like really figuring out who you are and how it fits with you is, I think, very imperative.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Cause I can see that where, if you're not a drinker, you're not a partier, and you're trying to hang out and it just makes you feel uncomfortable, and you would rather spend that time being productive, making sure that you're being the best version of yourself. Yeah. So I completely understand that.
Hey y'all, if you didn't know, mine and Craig's mission is to bridge the gap between generations by empowering, exposing, and educating others about financial literacy, new perspectives, and life goals. We can't do that without reaching more ear holes. So if you enjoy this content, then please share this to at least one other person to help us expand our brand and their minds.
All right. So then what strategies or habits do you follow to stay productive and efficient in your work?
Sort of feel to kind of stay efficient. So right now, I've been doing like a few things where I had to learn to say no to certain things, because I'm one of those people that say yes to everything. To where like, hey, if someone needs help, I'm like, yeah, I can do that for you. Hey, someone else needs help, hey, I can do that. But then I figure out that all my stuff is kind of like falling to the wayside. Yeah. I'm like, well, crap, I still have a lot of work to do. And I just basically did all their work, or because I kept saying yes to them. So, so for like productivity, really just making sure I have my tasks like written down. Yeah. Like I have tasks or a tasker on my phone, and it's just like a to-do list, a very simple to-do list, like, hey, go take out the trash, go pick up mail or whatever it is, and just making sure that that's good. One thing I did notice I have problems with is making sure I know how long something takes or how much effort something takes. So say if I'm trying to like fix a lawnmower, like, how long does that actually take, right? If I just say 1 hour, it's probably not just going to take 1 hour, right? I should probably allocate like 2, maybe 4 hours, because I need to figure it out. It's not something I've done. I need to do the research, whatever it is, right? So there's a lot more tasks than just that fixed lawnmower, right? It's like research lawnmower, go buy the stuff, try to fix it, fail, try to fix it again, fail, try to fix it, and maybe succeed, right? So that's like one of my hardest things of doing tasks, or not necessarily staying productive. I can definitely stay productive, productive as in doing stuff, not productive as in being able to complete something. Because those are two different things. But making sure that I know when I say I do a task, that I know everything that goes into it. And then at that point, should I also be like, should I just hire someone to do this? Because I'm like, someone else could probably do it a lot quicker than me just thinking of it. But to stay productive, I'm always productive, like as in, like I said, doing stuff, not necessarily moving the needle. But what I noticed is that if I want to stay productive, to do things that actually matter, not necessarily things that actually matter, but things that are actually moving the needle on like my goals and stuff, is that the stuff that's not moving my goals, can I like outsource that to someone else, or can something automate that? Right. So like so like say if your goal is to make money, build wealth, whatever it is, and you want to build a business, like all those other things that you're not doing, or that you are doing, like, taking out the trash, mowing the lawn, trying to fix the lawnmower, all that stuff, is that really focusing on you trying to build a business? No, right? Unless that's your business, is to do other tasks, right? But if it's not, then, and you really want to focus on building the business, then you need to figure out a way to reduce those. Like, if you have kids, maybe have them take a look at it or do that stuff. If you have, if you can hire someone to do it, cool, right? And it's just all those things that it's taking your time and attention, and it's not focusing on your actual goals that truly make it productive. Is actually true definition of productivity.
Okay.
Hey everyone, quick interruption. I just wanted to say, from both Craig and I, thank you for taking the time to listen to us and our random rambling about life. If you have enjoyed this and think even one other person will enjoy this, then please share out this link, whether you found us on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform. It costs no money and little time, but would have a great positive impact for our podcast and brand. All right, enough with the shameless plug. Let's get back to the podcast.
So, how do you balance your professional commitments and your personal life?
Oh man, that's always hard for me. So, and I've kind of talked about it before, like for people that are in the same like DISC assessment as I am, where like I'm a high S, is like, it seems like everyone else's time is more important than mine. Right. Where like, I want to help so many people, I want to help everyone do it, but like when it's coming to like my type of stuff, I'm like, maybe. Right. Because it doesn't feel that that need for not approval, but of service. Or being a servant. So it is really hard for me to do the work-life balance right now. I'm really figuring out how to do it, like during this PTO time frame, where like I have to take PTO because it's like use or lose, right? If for those people that don't know what that is, it's, you allocate a certain amount of time or accrue a certain amount of time, and you have to use it before an X date, or it just kind of goes away and it's kind of wasted money, basically. So having to really use like 2 weeks of PTO, I'm like, well, what do I do? So I'm still doing work. I'll say that right now, that like, but like in the morning I'll do like an hour of work, like just to make sure stuff is getting done. And then maybe an hour later on in the day, just to make sure that what I said in the morning was accomplished. So even though I'm on PTO, I'm trying to make sure stuff goes as planned. But finding that work-life balance has been a little hard. But I think doing that, there's an exercise where you can do like yes and or no buts, where it's like where I always say yes to things. I need to learn how to say no, because if I'm saying yes to someone else, I'm saying no to someone, right? And especially as me, I don't have a family yet. But if I did have a family, and if I said yes to working overtime, I would then be saying no to my children of spending time with them, right? Or no to my spouse of spending time with her. So and that kind of helped put into perspective where I need to learn what I'm actually saying yes to, or what are the actual ramifications on the opposite side of that coin. Like, because I'm saying yes, who's getting hurt on the other side?
Hey there, quick interruption. If you're listening on YouTube and don't want to miss out on any of our thought-provoking episodes on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our community of growth seekers. Together, let's explore new perspectives, embrace challenges, and embark on a journey of personal transformation.
All right. Yeah. So can you share any tips for networking and building meaningful connections in our career field?
So I will say in the IT industry, it can be easy yet hard to network, because a lot of people are very introverted, very hard communication-wise. But I think that also makes a good opportunity for people that aren't introverted, for those that are extroverted. So like to go to certain conferences. So like you can do local conferences here in Texas. So we have like the Texas Cyber Conference where a bunch of different vendors and stuff go to. At work, you can also network with people. There's, really big conferences like DEF CON and Black Hat that just passed recently. Yeah. So if you ever have opportunities to go to those and just chop it up with people, but if you are in that spectrum where it's hard for you to speak with people, I would say do it little by little. Like start with yourself, like learn how to speak with people, kind of get those emotional and verbal cues or body language cues right down, and then talk with your boss, talk with your coworkers, talk with more and more, right, and then talk with the customer and stuff like that. So I think you can do it in phases, but networking wise with other people, to me, is really easy. At least getting contacts and getting people to talk, because everyone in IT, like, there's so much to do. Yeah. And you're like, well, man, like, and there actually is a lot of people to talk to. It just, depends on where you're at.
Yeah. I can say another one too is just attending career fair. Yeah. Career fairs for whatever industry you're in. One, it gets kind of exhausting because they're going around shaking hands and explaining what you do to like every company that's there. And it was pretty exhausting, but it's a good way to get yourself out there, and you can understand, you can listen to them and understand like what other companies are looking for and ways to grow yourself. Yeah. Also, it just gets you in that, I guess, out of that introvert. Where you're out there talking to people.
Yeah. I think it's also a good way to just forcing yourself to go out, whether it's a conference or a career fair, is really helps you gauge like how much interaction you can handle. Because like for me, I can definitely handle some interaction, but I know if I handle like too much, like if I'm out every day and I'm like shaking hands, like you said, then like I start to feel it like against like my mind, like my mental fatigue kind of carries me.
Exactly.
And but I think if you do it, at least, like I think same with like working out, like when you try to get to like your 1 rep max for a bench, right? You at least know where your max is or where you're close to. Yeah. What's gonna hurt you, so like you can kind of dial down from that. So say if you're like talking to people for like 4 hours, that's a little bit too much, right? And then dial it down to maybe talking to people 2 hours, or maybe talking to people like 20-minute intervals, where you can kind of take a break and stuff like that. So I think when you're networking and if you're introverted, definitely got to like figure out how to scale out that comfort. Yeah. Because it definitely it gets exhausting. Yeah. Thank you everyone for listening to Troubleshooting Life Podcast. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you next week.